Afternoon. We're going to make a start in getting this heated windscreen all buttoned up and all wired in. Now I've got all the relays and stuff. So the windscreen I got off a company, I think they're called Ricky Evans Motorsports. They specialise in motorsport windscreens for various different cars. I think it cost around about $350, $360 for the windscreen itself. Without checking, that number could be way off, but if you look on their website, that tells you all the price and stuff like that if you wanted to know. And I just got a local company, AWS, out in Wade in Norwich, to fit it for me. It cost me 90 quid to have it freshly fitted, which is good. So the screen is all in. There is a dual element screen, so the passenger side and the driver side are heated by separate elements. So I've had to buy a twin relay kit. I have made a start in the sense that I've started to do the earths for the windscreen itself. So I'm just taking it off this bonnet hinge here. I've ran a tap through the thread just so we clean up any nastiness or any epoxy primer that might be on there from the factory. I've used a stainless steel bolt and I've greased the bolt up with dielectric grease as well, just to help protect it, and well, not protect it but help continuity. And I've just put a little brass ring terminal on there, and then obviously this other end is your positive. So I've just got to do this other side. You see I've already taken it off, or that bolt out, and I've already tapped it through and sprayed it down with some electrical cleaner. So I've just got to shorten this cable up, not that one, shorten this cable up, and then put a terminal on the end and get that all buttoned, bolted down. So I'll show you how to do that. It's just a simple crimp connector. It's not difficult at all, but some people might want to see it. Alright, so we're going to go for this wire. That's the wire closer to the bolt, which is going to give it a little bit extra room, just to tuck underneath that metal support there, just in case we have a problem with this wire at all, and we need to strip it back a little bit more. I've got plenty of tail on there, but I don't obviously want this whole tail, so I'll probably cut it in about half ish. It's all ish measurements with me, unfortunately. Nothing's ever precise. Just strip that sheathing back a little bit. All I do is twist that and bend it in half. Again, it just gives take this glove off. Just gives the locking part of the terminal something to grip onto. I don't want to focus. I set this up in my crimpers, and then push that onto there and just make sure that's poked pretty much all the way through, and just crimp it down. And that's it. Now if that was a live terminal, I'd probably put a little bit of heat shrink over here up to that ring just to protect it a little bit. That's not. So put a little wash on. And we've got a bolt with dielectric grease on it. And just screw that down in there. go. And that just tucks under there, and there's plenty of clearance there for the hinge to come up and down as well. So that's that. We'll get on to, I'll show the relay kit and then we'll go from there. Right, so this is the relay kit that I got, and this come from Moss, or Moss Europe, however you want to say. I originally said they were a Land Rover specialist, but they're not. They deal with all the older stuff, all the old British stuff. MG, Triumph, Austin Haley, Morris, Mini, Jaguar, I even do MX-5 as well. But they do all the older stuff, all the older British stuff. So I think this kit, this is a dual element one, so it's got the twin relays, twin fuse holders that come with the relays, fuse holders, and it's already pre-wired, and we're not going to use all this wire because we don't need to, but these white wires here are for your elements, and then you've got a massive power cable, and then you got this green one which I think is for your switch, and then you've got a small black earth that goes onto your switch side as well, and then we've got a few extra wires as well for your heat windscreen, for your earths and stuff like that, and they all come pre-terminated, but we're going to cut most of this off anyway and re-terminate at our end a little bit differently. But as I say, by the time I've bought relays, holders, fuse holders, wire, and messed around with an hour getting it to this sort of state, you know, I think I paid less than 60 quid for it. So in my eyes it's just worth spending that than wasting your time. And well, not wasting your time, but if you want to do it, it's entirely up to you, but I've got better things to do than to mess around making something like this when it's already available. And if you go on eBay, you can get them for Land Rovers, anything with the word Land Rover on it, trebles and price, because this exact same kit with a switch is about anywhere between 150 and 200 quid, and this has got everything apart from the switch. You even got a little telltale LED on there, but obviously we don't need that because we're going to go straight into our own lamp panel, our switch panel anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to find a place. Well, I've already found a place to mount this, which I think is suitable enough, and I'll come over to you now, and that's where I'm going to go into. And as you can see, I've already drilled the holes and rivet nutted, so it can be bolted in easily. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm now going to pull all that apart and mount it into my place, and then spread my wires where I think they need to be, where they need to be gone, where they need to go, basically. So yeah. Right, I've got the relay slash fuse concoction all mounted up where I wanted it. I've got some of my cables ran. So I've got the main power cable that just follows this along here, that pokes out down there, and put a nice little ring terminal on there, and that'll just join up to the power for this fuse box. I was going to stick it into this fuse box, but I have no spare 12 volt powers, basically. As you can see, they're all saying that though, I could probably take one of these out, but no, I'm just gonna, just as easy just to put a ring terminal on and just stick it onto that junction there. Saves the hassle. The rest of the wires I've tucked up here, I've taped them up. This earth here will join this earth here, but I am going to have to stick a a bigger terminal on there, so that'd be earthed. And then this is your switch wire, which is positive, so you need the switch to be positive, so when you flick the switch you get a positive current down this wire. That's just going to go down through this grommet here where all my safety stuff is, and my battery cables for the isolator go. I might have to extend that to reach my switch panel, but I've still got some spare green and black wire from the kit. And then I've got my two main cables to go to the elements. I've just stuffed them around the back here, and then they will probably just pop out up here, and we'll tie that to these cables here, and then just run that up. One will go to this wire and one will go to that wire, and then we'll put a couple of little securing clamps on here to hold them in place, or we'll just tape them down with some duct tape, whatever we see fit. And that's it. That is pretty much nearly there. So I'm just gonna do this, do these couple of cables here, get these joined up, get them taped down, and yeah, apart from putting a switch to it, that is all ready to go. Right, that's all soldered in. I was going to put a connector on there, but I thought, what's the point? So I just soldered it in. Last thing to do is just put the heat shrink over the top of it and heat that in place. Let me put you down. Right, there we go. Again, all connected up. So I'm just going to find the best route to route these, and I'll probably just tape them down somewhere underneath that screen. Again, the whole reason for putting it on the outside was that if I was ever to have a fault with the heated screen, I could easily access the cables to diagnose the fault, and hopefully that'd be a quick fix, rather than having the pigtails on the dash side, and then that's going to be underneath dash, going to be much more difficult to obviously access the wiring. So at least this way I can easily get to it all. And I've just P-clipped that harness onto the snorkel. I've put in my live. I've put in my earth. So again, we'll just find somewhere where that will just go in there nicely. Maybe a little bit of tape to hold that in. And then obviously I've got my switch wire, which is just down here. And what I thought, they ain't going to go to the centre of the dash, so I'm going to have to extend that, which isn't a problem, because they give you some more of that, not much more, but there we go. I've got another length here, so that should easily be enough to stretch it to the centre console of the dash. And then this is obviously my switch panel. I can't remember if I've shown you this, and I'll just go into one of them blue blocks there, but I think I'll change these crimp blocks to a better style crimp block. One that's a naked one, and then you just put your heat shrink on top of it. So yeah, that is pretty much done. So now I can obviously put the scuttle panel in and the wipers, and then that'll be that job done.